Imagine that you are driving down a dark and rainy highway after a long day at work. Being very tired, you probably doze off for a second. By the time the thundering honk and the dazzling light of the truck wakes you up, it is only a few meters away from your car. At this moment, even though steering the car in the right direction may save your life, a lot of people in your position would freeze in absolute terror. It is very typical for a human to freeze in the face of near-death situations like this. It is an ancient survival mechanism that decides to stop moving in the face of a looming predator in an effort to stay undetected. However, this freezing effect is triggered not only when we face a near-death situation. We modern humans happen to freeze frequently when facing situations presenting significantly lower levels of threat. For example, if we find ourselves sitting in front of a panel of job interviewers making a simple request, "Tell us something about yourself," a number of smart, educated, and capable individuals would freeze. They may squeeze out a stupid answer, stammering through their frozen jaws and parched throat, possibly messing up the interview. In fact, whenever we encounter a situation that we feel may potentially disrupt our life in a significant way, we run the chance of freezing in fear. Just like us, ancient humans froze too, perhaps while accidentally encountering a tiger or a vicious member of a rival tribe. Thus, irrespective of the objective situation, the program to freeze in fear while facing impending doom seems to be hard-coded into our biology. Encountering a danger more powerful than us is a problem we have been dealing with since the dawn of our species. Irrespective of culture, race, or geography, millions of our ancestors faced such situations collectively innumerable times throughout the history of humanity. Those who managed to somehow snap out of their frozen state and survive obviously spoke about it and how important it was to learn how not to freeze in times of urgency. Each time our ancestors told the tale of the survival from a freezing situation, they added their 2 cents about why they thought they survived. Thus, very slowly, over countless generations, a repository of experiences involving freezing in fear and how to survive it was built. This repository eventually became too large and complicated to comprehend or contain for a single group or individual. However, given the importance of this wisdom, it simply could not be discarded. Therefore, humans started using their unique ability of abstract thinking to extract the essence of all these experiences and represent them categorically through metaphorical stories with fantastic themes and characters. These symbolic representations of humanity's existential wisdom, carried over from generation to generation, was identified and termed by the eminent 19th century psychiatrist Dr. Carl Gustav Jung as archetypes. The archetypes developed organically and parallelly over millennia across the globe in disconnected human settlements. Naturally, multiple versions of the same archetype emerged over time, each tinted with the unique lifestyle elements of the community that developed it, but capturing the same fundamental existential wisdom at its core. As the archetypes grew in complexity and significance, they formed the mythological basis of localized polytheistic religions. For instance, the Santhal tribe in eastern India worships the goddess Bon Bibi, meaning the mistress of the wilderness. She is supposed to protect the hunters from tiger attacks. The ancestral home of this tribe is in the province of Bengal, which happens to be the home of the famous Royal Bengal tiger. Therefore, surviving tiger attacks was and still is a huge concern for this tribe. The essence of their ancestral wisdom about how to coexist with tigers morphed into the deity of Bon Bibi and the mythological stories associated with her. Over time, as human settlements grew and eventually started to interact with each other, their myths and religious beliefs started to intermix. If the archetypal wisdom of one tribe resonated with another, it formed the basis of the merger of the 2 tribes. But when the archetypes of one settlement contradicted with another, the inevitable consequence of the ideological difference led to warfare. The stronger tribe either wiped out or absorbed the religion of the weaker one and established its own. Thus, a natural selection-like process played out for millennia until only those religions remained which enabled its followers to survive and operate in the most efficient manner as a society. Therefore, the simple symbolic stories and the rituals associated with the religion of a small tribe kept snowballing into more complex and efficient archetypal infrastructures over time. Finally, when large organized civilizations started to form, the component tribes already had a rich repository of archetypal history embedded into their subcultures. When these civilizations started becoming affluent and powerful, this mythological basis served as their cultural, social, ethical, economic, political, and legal cornerstones. No wonder every great civilization in history had uniquely fascinating and symbolically rich religious rituals. Moreover, the morality derived from mythological themes played decisive roles in the administration and overall operation of the society. The story of Medusa and Perseus serves as a good example of such archetypal evolution. This myth captures how the collective human experience of freezing in fear evolved into an archetypal tale in Greek mythology. Nature and her unpredictable dangers are often represented by a threatening feminine form in many archetypal tales. Medusa, who is a witch with a head full of snakes instead of hair, symbolizes the threatening and chaotic aspect of Mother Nature. Many powerful warriors failed to defeat her, as one look at her bewitching eyes froze them all into stone. She was finally slayed by the hero Perseus, who managed to chop her head off using the weapons gifted by several gods. Hades gave him the cape of invisibility, and Hermes gave a pair of winged sandals which allowed him to fly and travel fast. Athena gave him a bronze reflective shield so that he would not have to look at Medusa directly, and Hephaestus gave a sword. These gifts from the gods are the real key to understanding how the ancestral wisdom has been symbolically encoded into the mythological story. When facing a danger that may cause you to freeze, you must learn not to draw attention to yourself, hence the cloak of invisibility. Second, you should be ready to improvise at the blink of an eye, symbolized by the winged sandals. Thirdly, you must learn to deal with the danger without attacking head-on, hence the reflecting shield enables you to invade your personal Medusa from her blind spot. Finally, the sword represents focus and strategy forged in fire, which will be the ultimate piece of the puzzle enabling you to decapitate Medusa. But do these archetypes hold any relevance today in the age of extreme globalization? Does it even make sense anymore to explore the archetypal roots of our ancestry in order to find solutions to ethical problems like the ancients did? I personally believe that reconnecting with our archetypal roots in today's highly engineered world is now more necessary than ever. Throughout the 200,000 years of humanity's history, we have been living in a global civilization for about 200 years. The modern world, powered by the magical connectivity of the internet, is not even 50 years old. Thus, we live in a civilization so efficient at progressing forward that it is outpacing our existential evolution by a large margin. No wonder that as technology evolves to keep us more connected than ever, the lonelier and isolated we feel. These feelings of alienation and purposelessness are tormenting entire generations of youth, forcing them to find escape in self-destructive habits. Evidently, the sense of dread and alienation is not arising from a lack of social connectivity or basic survival needs, but a profound disconnection from nature. Every physical, intellectual, and psychological faculty in the human system has been evolving for millennia to survive and thrive in nature. In an urban society, especially in the affluent nations, such a lifestyle is becoming more and more inaccessible. We have created such a fantastic and comfortable global civilization that unknowingly we imprisoned ourselves in it. We are, in an almost literal sense of the phrase, fishes out of water. However, we are the only species of fish to drain our own water supply. Therefore, the wisdom of the archetypes has not only found relevance in today's world, but myriads of their manifestations are hiding in plain sight all around us. A good place to start looking for them will be any work of art that has gained significant popularity in recent history. It is so because artists often, if not always, express certain archetypal messages via their works. When the message is delivered with enough precision, the archetypal content resonates with a lot of people, making the artwork popular. A very good example of a popular art based on very ancient archetypes would be the second Harry Potter story, The Chamber of Secrets. This book, written by J.K. Rowling, explored a manifestation of Medusa in the form of the basilisk, a humongous snake with a freezing gaze and deadly venomous fangs. The basilisk served as the primary enemy of the protagonist, Harry. Just as expected, Harry killed the basilisk by stabbing it in the head with a sword gifted to him in the final hour by the benevolent god, Godric Gryffindor. In fact, each of the 7 Harry Potter books are loaded to its brim with subtle expressions of archetypes collected from all over the world. One would be wise to look under the hood of every single Harry Potter narrative if they want to understand the real power of archetypes. Harry himself is an archetypal manifestation of the Christ. He was the boy who lived, marked by divinity on his forehead, thus the Son of God. In the end of his saga, he died and was resurrected to kill Voldemort. No wonder people loved his saga and paid enough money to make 8 films about it. Old wine, new bottle. But if Harry is a manifestation of the Christ archetype, which itself is derived from a more ancient hero archetype, how did cultures where Christianity never took root also appreciated Harry's shenanigans? That is because even though civilizations rose and fell periodically, the fundamental human challenges did not change at all. Instead, they simply kept morphing into different forms with each passing civilization. Therefore, very often similar and recurring themes are found in the midst of civilizations that rose and fell in vastly separated time and space. The similarities in themes are sometimes so readily apparent that it may tempt people to entertain the notion that at some point in the past, there was one global civilization which all other civilizations descended from. Whether or not a global civilization existed, a global presence of the same human problems and a species-wide effort to solve them using the same physiological and psychological faculties certainly did. For instance, the hero archetype is one of the most commonly occurring one in all religions. Generally speaking, the hero story is about an underdog forced to confront an unfairly powerful enemy in order to save the world. He knows fully that it would be practically suicide. Thus, the hero is the one who sacrifices himself selflessly in order to save humanity. No matter the part of the world you hail from, I guarantee that you have heard this story at least once in your life. If you still cannot find it, look no further than a superhero comic book. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content on Vedic astrology. I am also excited to share that my book, Decoding Zodiac with Vedic Astrology Volume 1 is now available. In this book, I explore Vedic astrology from a psychoanalytic perspective, delving into the archetypal nature of the zodiac. If you are interested, you can find the link to purchase it in the description below. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care and stay curious.